I will be chatting to him in a moment, but first, performing a song he's written especially for us, I want you to welcome, and I genuinely think it's going to be one of those performances that everyone talks about. He's a fabulous comedian, the amazing Mr. Tim Minchin.
Obviously, I don't want to infer that being invited onto Friday night with Wassie isn't wonderfully affirming. And I know I oughta appreciate the risk you took, the bookers who agreed to book a chap who tends to talk about the kind of things that get the BBC in hot water. And I don't want to seem greedy, I'm just saying I'd like to be here every week if that's okay. And if you'll hear me out, I think I've got a way in which we could do it pretty easily. You can leave all the boring details to me. It's a brilliant idea, a truly original concept. No one in Britain has ever done anything like it yet. Picture this. Imagine if we had 5 puffs and 2 pianos. Yeah, it's a wicked idea. Why settle for a quartet of queers when there's the possibility of a penta-puffed up piano posse here? 5 puffs and 2 pianos. Yeah, it'll be ace. 100% more pianos and 25% more gays. I know, I've seen the problem too. There's a rumor I am straight, it's true. It hurts to admit it, but I'm about as bent as Wassie himself or 50 Cent. But I've already thought it through. Do you know there's preachers in America who reckon they can do sexuality conversions? I've heard them assert they can cure a man of trouser love and turn him onto skirt. Well, I don't see why they couldn't pull the same trick in reverse, and we'd have 5 puffs and 2 pianos. Yeah, it's a revolution, and probably the best solution to the problem you're inevitably having with an even number of homosexuals. Yes, I know your producers might suspect that the license-paying public will object to the corporation having yet another homosexual to pay. The Daily Mail will bring the big guns out. Jan Moyer will be frothing at the mouth, writing further brilliant stuff about the myth of being both happy and gay. But all that moral indignation will disappear when they see those 4 lovely guys and me singing in perfect harmony. And all those angry letter writers, like disgusted from the Isle of Wight and mad from Hull and outraged from Leeds and slightly annoyed from Berwick-on-Tweed, will instantly change their tune. They'll be bleeding heart liberals by Saturday noon. They'll be giving their grandchildren up for adoption in the hope that a gay married couple will adopt them. They'll be putting rainbow stickers on their cars and cutting holes in the arse of their leather strides. Watching 2 pianos and 5 guys. Watching 2 pianos and 5 guys. Watching 2 pianos and 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 puffs and 2 pianos. Yeah, it'll be grand. You can never have too many pianos or too much man. 5 puffs and 2 pianos, and maybe we could out Jamie Cullum. Make it a trio of pianos and a big gay half dozen.
It's the Tim Minchin, ladies and gentlemen. There he is, fabulous. That was great, well done. Sit yourself down.
Thank you very much.
Well, we should say, you know, obviously, 50 Cent was mentioned that, and he was meant to be here this evening. He couldn't because something happened at the premiere, and he couldn't make it over. But
I heard he had heard about my song, and he got a bit freaked out. He thought it might be a confrontation, and he thought he might lose.
Yeah.
Might get
Well, you're clearly the more streetwise and urban of the two.
Totally, I know. 9 times I've been shot like.
Hey, I've noticed there were no shoes involved in your performing this evening.
I know.
Is this a normal thing, or is it just for us?
I don't wear shoes on stage.
Ever? Never?
Never. Well, not since I started doing comedy. When I first started doing this, I was in a little tiny little room in South Melbourne called the Butterfly Club, and there was 50 seats. But I was really nervous because I just started concentrating on comedy songs. And
So were you doing straightforward songs? Were you like a regular singer-songwriter before that?
Well, I sort of wrote a lot of music for theatre and stuff, and bands, and I acted a bit, and I was just making do. But I've always done lots of different things, and then the comedy really came from me sticking it all together and kind of realising that if I just show off everything I can do, people quite like it. But I'd do these gigs and I'd be scared out of my wits, so I'd just drink a couple of wines, and I found that taking my shoes off made me feel like, oh, bugger you, it's my lounge room, you know.
So
I still do that.
But you stopped at the socks. You didn't decide with the trousers, a shirt, maybe sit there in your pants, you'd feel more relaxed?
Yeah, it's similar to that idea of visualising your audience naked. The other way of doing that is just to get naked yourself.
I would like to do a show naked one week with all my guests naked.
Why don't we do it now?
No, let's not do it now.
Why don't we just take...
I can see...
Why don't we just take your trousers off? We could just take your trousers...
Hold on. Oh, sexist. You've got two great-looking young men here. Yes, and I used the word young.
Take just your trousers, just for this section?
No, because...
No one's going to see it.
But listen...
I've only done this 6 or 8 times.
Oh, sorry. If that's what it takes.
This is actually quite a lot harder for me than it is for them. I mean,
Tim, it's quite a lot harder for me.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think maybe you need to put them back up now.
That must have...
You dealt with that
That must have reminded you of that night I gave you that special audition. Yeah. And you all passed. So you're from Australia.
Oh, yeah.
And yet you live over here now, is this correct?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
When did you move from Australia to the United Kingdom?
2006.
2006. And this was a career move, a family move? Why was it?
Yeah. No. Yes. Mm-hmm. Yeah. I was in Australia and it was going fine, but I did the Melbourne Comedy Festival in 2005 and got Karen Corrin, who's a legendary Edinburgh producer, came and saw my show and said, come to Edinburgh. And when I came to Edinburgh in 2005, that's when my life changed.
Well, that's when I first heard about you. People said, you've got to see this guy, he's come over here. And then you went away again.
And then I went away for a bit. And then we came back for Edinburgh 2006 with our bags, you know, and Sarah 7 months pregnant.
So when you say we, you mean your family? You have your...
Well, Sarah and a fetus.
So you are, yeah.
Is it called a fetus at 7 months? Or just a trapped child?
Yeah, most people call it a child already, or the baby.
Really.
Yeah.
An embryo, whatever.
What age did you stop calling your child the fetus?
Well, we don't have a name for it now. She's 3 and we just call her the child now. But yeah, we call her the child. She's much more respect. We wouldn't call her an embryo now. The little one's called embryo.
Yeah. She grew out of that stage.
Yeah.
So how many children do you have? You have 2?
2 kids, yeah.
2 kids.
Little new one.
And how old are they?
3. Almost 3, the older one. She's a woman child.
Girl.
Girl.
Let's say girl for the second.
I just get so confused with all your British terminology. Yeah, she's a woman child, a girl, and there's got this little...
Man child?
Boy. Yeah. And he's 3 months, and he's like...
He's quite chunky.
He's like Buddha.
Well, that's good. It's nice to have a well-covered child.
Yeah, well, totally, and someone with such spiritual leadership skills.
Can I just say what lovely... I don't know if you've noticed this, what lovely eyes Tim Minchin have. Can you get in close on Tim Minchin's lovely eyes? Look at those beautiful eyes, look at those. No, now you look a bit scary, like a psychopath, but open them normally. No, don't wink and... Don't do the whole thing there, look.
Oh,
look at that. What a lovely colour they are.
Yeah, thanks.
And you've got... when did you start wearing the eyeliner, or the guy liner?
The guy liner? The same sort of period I took my shoes off. It was just transformative. I don't really know why. And I always think when I come on telly, it's not... Because I started wearing eyeliner because I play piano And
Well, that's enough. You don't need to say anything.
yeah, exactly. Yeah. No, but people can't. People need to be able to see eyes. So I just wore a little bit like a theatre actor, you know, so
I
people
see.
could see my eyes because
you could do
you can't
expressions.
express yourself and you're not out front. You're sort of there. I think that was my logic. And then I thought, oh, it'd be cool if I put a bit more on. And now it's become a look, and that's all right.
No,
nice.
hey, there's nothing wrong with it.
Yeah, man. Lay off.
Yeah. And when did you start not washing your hair? When was that? Was that about
Yeah, I've had 1 or 2 washes.
Well, but do you wash it? I don't mean that unkindly, because I know some people say that the natural oils will look after your hair, and so they stop washing it.
I wash it about once every 2 weeks, so
Okay.
it kind of progressively gets skankier and skankier.
And you like it that way?
I'm about 8 days in.
And does your wife Sarah mind? Are you married or is she just your partner?
I'm married, yeah.
Okay, you're married,
I was
married.
26 when I got married. I was very young. How old were you?
I was 28, I think.
Yeah,
Oh no, I was 27, coming on 28.
Yeah.
Or maybe I was 28 going
Oh,
on
I
29.
don't think it matters.
No, okay. No, I insist on coming up with the accurate age now. I'm sorry, it's bothering
I want to know the date.
me. I'm going to give you the exact age. But how does she put up with the hair? Your missus, your partner, your wife?
Well, she doesn't see me much. It's not really an issue. We sleep in separate beds.
If you're performing, someone didn't know what to expect, and they saw you barefoot and looking quite strange, like a sort of a surprised goth, and you're playing a song, okay? If someone's like, "Oi, cobber, which stick you singing?" Well, you look like a blooming girl. How do you deal with a heckle like that? That's the kind of thing I imagine would happen.
Gull.
In the...
Like a gull? You meant galah?
No, this is like an I'm being an Australian. Hey, cobber, what's going on with you? Where's your shoes gone? Did you put them on the Barbie? Right, and so what do you say to a heckler like that? How do you deal with that kind of intelligent heckling?
I would be...
Hey, Barbie girl, what's going on with your weave, girlfriend?
I think I would be...
Hey, blue eyes.
Yeah.
You see, this character, he's inhabiting me.
Yeah,
now,
he's
quite
brilliant. He's amazing. He's the best heckler I've ever had. Please, don't stop. I would ask him where he's from. I'd say, from whence do you hail, strange man?
So you engage him. You would engage him as a human being.
Yeah.
But do you get that kind of thing much?
Not a great deal of hecklers, because it's sort of a...
It's a performance. It's a different thing.
Comedians, there's 2 reasons you get hecklers. One, if you're trying to do jokes that aren't working, and I deliberately don't do jokes with punchlines to avoid that problem. And the other is if you ask for it, and comedians generally ask for it. They go, where are you from? And blah, blah, and you looking
open up the
pudgy.
dialogue.
And so bang. And I don't do a huge amount of that stuff, but I do get heckles. I had a guy in Dublin in Vicar Street, which was a brilliant gig, and the whole crowd was really on my side. And at one point, just sort of in a pause, some bloke went, I can't say the word, but he said, "You're shite." Like
you did just say both words then.
Oh, no. I think I said it
By
the way...
dropping the volume a little bit doesn't mean you didn't say...
Yeah, but this is the BBC.
You're blooming crazy.
You're blooming crazy.
You're blooming naughty.
Yeah, sorry, I thought on English telly you just had to not actually say it, even though everyone knows what you're saying. So, you're allowed to say, stick it in your back door, but you're not allowed to say shit. It's brilliant. I love the English. You're also double entendre. Anyway, so this guy's gone, "You're effing shite."
I don't know who you think you're protecting here.
And I've just gone, and I just happened to be at a point where I was about to go into a bit about criticism, because I do a song as a tribute to a very fine journalist who once wrote a very fine article about me, and it's a very nice song, and he really does come up smelling like melons. But I was just about to go into it, and this guy's going, "You're a shite." He's just being really aggressive, and the audience is going, "Boo!" And I said, "Thank you, that's brilliant." Because it was like, I said to him, you're like a plant. That was so perfect. It's like you're a plant. And then I said, and like all plants in my life, soon you will die.
Fabulous, put that.
I was pretty sharp.
And I'm hoping he went off embarrassed and ashamed himself.
He did. No, I think he was vomited in his own hat. And to be fair, I usually get really fond, funny heckles. I was in Reading recently, and they were all starting to heckle a bit, and I said, "This is not a panto." And this bloke behind me went, "Oh, yes, it is." Oh, my God.
How great to have you here. I'm a huge fan. I can't wait to see you properly live. And you're nearly at the end of the tour, I guess.
Yeah, I've got one more week. Yeah, I'm doing Hammersmith tomorrow on Sunday.
Hammersmith, that's a big gig for you, I guess.
It's a big gig, and I think there's still tickets on Sunday.
Because my kids and my wife went to see it, and they all fell in love with your performance. They said it was
Really?
incredible. Yeah, and I'm thrilled you're on the team as well. Yeah.
Brilliant.
But how great to have you, ladies and gentlemen. I'm sure you'll be seeing a lot more of him. Mr. Tim Minchin.
Thank you.
Awesome stuff. No, it was brilliant. Thank you. Thanks to all my guests tonight, the fabulous Tim Minchin, the wonderful Boy George, and of course, the gorgeous and very funny Joanna Page. Next week on the show, we have...
Hit the road, Jack. Don't you come back no more, no more, no more, no more. Hit the road, Jack. Don't you come back no more. What you say? Hit the road, Jack. Don't you come back no more, no more, no more, no more. Hit the road, Jack. Don't you come back no more. Woman, oh woman, don't you treat me so mean. You're the meanest old woman that I ever have seen. I guess if I say so, I guess I have to pack my things and go. Oh, hit the road, Jack. Don't you come back no more, no more, no more, no more. Hit the road, Jack. Don't you come back no more. Hit the road, Jack. Don't you come back no more, no more, no more, no more. Hit the road, Jack. Don't you come back no more. Oh, hit the road, Jack. Don't you come back no more, no more, no more, no more. Hit the road, Jack. Don't you come back no more.
Mr. Tim Minchin and Mr. Jamie Cullum.
This Saturday, get even more involved in Strictly live, right here. You can go online, you can predict what the judges will score, you can wow and boo and goss as the dances happen live. Are you ready to get Strictly social? Then go to bbc.co.uk/Strictly.
Strictly Come Dancing, tomorrow at 7 on BBC One.